Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at this vintage Buck 105 Pathfinder. A week ago, somebody at work asked me to clean up their old 105 Pathfinder, and this was a knife that has been used hard. It's been in the fishing box or tackle box or whatever, and it when I got it, it actually still had some guts and stuff on it, but it looked really bad. There was nicks in the blade, and it was actually too difficult to try to restore it and keep it true to everything, because I had to go at it like crazy with a buffing wheel and sander and everything. But I made it look pretty again, which is all he wanted was for this to be functional and for it to look good. Before we take a close look at this knife, I'd like to do a shout out. I haven't done a shout out for a very long time. Just like I haven't done a contest for a very long time, which I did. So if you go back a video, you'll see I got a contest going. But shout out. Looking for Me Marbles. That's going to be the first link below. Looking for Me Marbles. And it's a very special shout out for someone that I've been following for a very long time. Since the vintage days of YouTube. And I watched his channel because, and I watch his channel because we have a lot of common interests. Guns, knives, and now vaping. We didn't do vaping back then, but now we both do. So I'm sure if he was like my neighbor across the street, we'd be hanging out together all the time because we have a lot in common. But check him out, please. I'll go ahead and put the link below. And now let's go ahead and take a close look at this Buck 105. So this Buck 105 came in this really nice leather case. They still do. You have a belt clip right here. This old one here says the model number right on the back, 105. But really nice, and this really has stood the test of time. And when I say the test of time, I mean the test of time. I was trying to date this, and I dug around the Buck website, and I finally got something to figure it out. Right here where it says Buck, it also says USA. Basically, that'll give you the date. If this were just to say Buck without the USA on it, it would put it somewhere between 1961 and 1967. Now, if it says Buck USA, just like this one, we could go ahead and take a close look at that real quick. And are we going to focus? I'm getting used to a new camera here. Okay, so we have a Buck USA there stamped on this blade. So that puts it between 1967 and 1972. And I'm believing this was actually around 1970. No, I guess, yeah, it's somewhere there, between 1967 and 1972. We actually thought it might have been a little bit later in the 70s, but wow, this is actually older than I thought originally. Now, if it had a little pound sign somewhere in there, it would have been 1972 through 1986. Then after 1986, they started using all these different symbols. For instance, I'm going to go ahead and bring in a Buck 119 here. You could see that this has Buck and 119, and then it has like a sideways T, and that would put this at 2006. This is a newer Buck 119. As a matter of fact, I have this here on the table because I just wanted you to see the difference between its big brother. So here's the 105 down below, and you can see how much smaller and lighter the Pathfinder is. You know, this is good for, you know, maybe shorter trips. If you're someone who likes to pack light and travel far or up mountains or things like that, you might want to pack lighter and use the Pathfinder. So each knife has its purpose. This is definitely good enough for skinning and processing, your game. Definitely good enough for that. I know a lot of people who use this for all their processing needs, and it could be used just about for anything else. Really good knife. As a matter of fact, the blade is a modified clip point. The new ones use 420 HC steel with the Buck's really good heat treatment. I think it probably gets it to about 58 on the HRC. I don't swear by that, but I think it's around 58 on the top of my head. By the way, the blade doesn't normally come this polished. They come looking like this. More of a satin finish. I polished this one up just to make it look good. The length of this blade is 5 inches. It's also very light. If you were to hold a 119 in your hand for a little while and then you pick up this 105, you're like, wow, this thing is super light. It's 4.5 ounces is all it is. And you can see you got a finger guard or hand guard right there. That's aluminum, and I love the little touch of the plastic insert in there. Gives it a nice look. Keeps your hand from slipping onto the blade when stabbing. On the back here, on the bolster, it's like a polished metal. Actually, it's aluminum. Both the handguard and the butt here is aluminum. Now, the handle material, this slick plastic looking stuff, it's referred to as phenolic. It's probably a type of polymer, something close to a polymer, something like that. It feels like plastic, and it's very smooth. Some people do not like smooth handles, but I'll tell you what, holding this, it is a very, very comfortable knife, especially for one that was designed so long ago. I'm sure in 1961 to 67, they weren't so huge on ergonomics like we are now, and this is ergonomic, Sort of like the 1911. 1911 was way ahead of its time with ergonomics. That was a very good gun, still is. So this very comfortable, even reverse grip, because the way that this is shaped back here, your thumb could just lay over it. So reverse grip, really, really nice. And again, the sheath, leather, stood the test of time. It's this is a gem. Okay, I went ahead and confirmed that the HRC on this knife was 58. Actually, it's between 56 and 58 for the 420 HC steel. Now, this particular knife that you're seeing right here in front of you is probably not 420. They didn't use that way back then, the 420 HC. They probably used 440C is probably what they used. Again, I'm not positive. There's not a lot of information. If someone knows for sure, please feel free to put that in the comments below. We all can learn something from each other, and I do this gig because I learned so much from all of you. Look at that, I got this so shut. I got my fingerprints all over it. By the way, I sharpened this thing up and on my Edgemaster, which is like a paper wheel, and I've been shaving all the hair off my hand to test it. Check this out. Look at that. I'm shaved. I'm going to go ahead and clean this knife before I hand it off to the person that I fixed it for. Well, it's almost time to wrap things up again. I'd like to remind everybody to go ahead and check out and subscribe to Looking For Me Marbles. I'll be putting his link below. He is really a very interesting character, and I really enjoy his channel very much. And I think if you enjoy the things that I review here, you will very much enjoy his channel. He's a little more dynamic, a little more he has a lot more personality than me. I'm just sort of laid back, easygoing, sort of like the Mr. Rogers of the gun and knife and vaping world. I should start my videos out where I just sort of take my sweater off. Never mind. I digress. Check them out. So also, if you're in the market for a light hunting knife, skinning knife, whatever, this could be the knife for you. The new Buck 105. I'll go ahead and put a link below to that too if you're interested in it. It definitely stands up to the test of time, hard use, not just sitting in a drawer. This one has gone through a hard life, and it's been cleaned up, and it's ready for more hard use, probably for another 40 years. So just incredible buck knives. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great evening. Take care.